as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit the like button, share this content, let that friend, that neighbor, know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and Yon. That's including the ice wall, baby. Cowboys got a lot to prove this season. No lie, Q&A, baby. Let's get it. Yep. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. What about a Law Nation's groove? From my studios to yours. You're tuning in to shout out to your ace, Boogie, Brandy, Jeremy. I see you in the chat. Warren, not Moon, but Duncan, baby. Come on. I see you, JD from DC. Where my Facebook grooves at? Put HBO in the chat if you HBO and come on with it. Yeah, top of the morning. Sadiq, Charles, C. Bass. Come on with it. What we tell them? Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Let that friend, that neighbor know. They can come closer, they close. 5, 4, 3, 2. Ice cold cowboy. Come on with it. The longest intro in the land. Come on with it. Yeah. Kelvin, I see you, baby. You got the kick out. 3, 2, and 1. They say, ain't no party like a cowboy party. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Come on, hey. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Appreciate everybody for rocking with the nation. Shout out to you, Toxic Tom. I see you, my dog. I cannot believe it. It is you. And as well as Justin D. Regina, I see you, baby. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It is you.
I cannot believe it. I was like, oh. Greetings, Your Highness. Yeah, greetings. The WD Diddy 40 is free. Puff Daddy is free at last. Did y'all know that, they done dropped all of the charges, or he's been exonerated, or all of those things, however you say it. He's been one of those things, whereas we could talk about this now. We hope all is well with people and individuals, but slide me some oil, Come on with it. W. Diddy 40 is pretty much going to walk. He may serve 1 or 2 years, he may get out on good behavior. They may home arrest the Diddy files and everything. So now people are like, hey, man, I'll right there with you, Diddy. I got you, Slide me some more. Boy, y'all better.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Y'all better watch out the diddler.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Hey.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping.
Yeah. He may not be free, but shoot, it appears that he's going to get out because they're going to remove half of the things that's being reported, like far as the SA trafficking and as well as the RICO charges. They have been moved, so it's going to be crazy, so fireworks may be returning. Yeah. Good afternoon, the freak-offs. The return of the freak-offs, man. Anyway, he probably wasn't going to do the time anyway. They probably cloned him, and that clone was going to do time. But, it is for what it is. Respect to all of the people that been harmed during this trial or what have you. But it's supposed to have been a situation whereas they just showcased that this dude been doing evil activities. But neither here nor there. Diddy is part of the rainbow. This from Brandy. Yeah, it is crazy. But neither here nor there. Money talks, ain't that right, Toxic Tom? If you got the money, you better knock the rings out of it and get things moving and grooving, because at the end of the day,
take the money out, all of it. Come on. You're wasting my time now. Come on.
At the end of the day, baby, if it was somebody like Seabass, my guy LT in the chat, Dak owns, bring them baskets, boy, we would be still locked up, Johnson & Johnson style. You better be doing your dips and your push-ups and getting right, because you're going to have to fight, while you locked up in the slams. But let's get back to the Cowboys topic. The Cowboys got a lot to prove. And not just Rain Dakota Prescott, but since he is the quote-unquote quarterback of the America's team, of course, it starts with him. They even got the odds of coming out comeback player of the year. They got the odds maker knowingly that it should be Dak Prescott. But I'm going to swing around and give you guys a different point from here. I don't want Dak Prescott to be comeback player of the year. Let me repeat this. I don't want Dak Prescott to become the comeback player of the year. I think that this is a good thing. He should have gotten it back in 2021. I want Dak Prescott to be the MVP. I want us to still continue to work and do things crazily as it relates to add more and more weapons and more pieces and more things for this team. The teams that win tends to have the most firepower, the deepest depths, and these sorts of things. So one of the things that I'm looking for is comeback player of the year. It got to fall in line with, in my opinion, with Sam Williams, right? I think that if Sam Williams can give us 10 to 12 to maybe 13 sacks, if he can give us anywhere north of 80 pressures, that would be something that we will all would be like, damn, you got to not only pay him, but you got to add him into the conversations of comeback player of the year. The other guy that I would love for the Cowboys to be considered comeback player of the year, it will be these type of things. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up. Give me 1 second. And everything and anything I say, this is only for entertainment purposes. So please don't take this with purposes of running and saying that these are finite truths on anything that I say. Everything is entertainment purposes and allegedly. Right. So long as we got that cleared away. But the other guy that would be considered comeback player of the year, it could be Trayvon Diggs. Mm-hmm. He's not on this list. I would prefer it would be either a Sam Williams, a Trayvon Diggs, an Overshown to a smaller degree, because Overshown, of course, we understand, right? He may not play until late November-ish, but if he come out and give us unbelievable numbers and these sorts of things, it will be crazy. Ace Boogie says, I want, I don't mind what people putting there, they declaring and decreeing. I don't mind that. He says, Ace Boogie states, I want Dak to have a crazy season. MVP, Super Bowl, and Super Bowl MVP. That would be the cherry on the top, man. That would be what Boosie said with what's on top. I ain't gonna. That's too soon, too early, right? All right, it's still too early right now. It's still 11:40 something. I think that would be good too. But the guy that I really want, is Trayvon Diggs, and here's the reason why. Trayvon Diggs in the last few seasons, it's been a very crazy turn, right? And even in 2023, those first two games, he was very, very crucial for us. And I think that he did a great thing for us. And I think that could be a situation that we can look back at and say, all right, cool. And even, hold on, we got a super chat. Hold on, boom. Brandy states, Micah will get paid an hour before the Eagles game. And if the Cowboys run that play, man,
it's an evil world we live in.
And shame on Jerry if they do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shame on him. Shame on him if he do that.
Shame.
I think that Micah Parsons in this dry spell, the NFL needs it. The Cowboys needs it. Right before 4th of July, get Micah Parsons' deal done, right? Or next week, get the deal done. I'm tired. All my life we had to fight with the Joneses on this contract situation. Now, granted, to be devil's advocates, it could be David Mulugeta and all of them boys that's holding Parsons back from this deal. But I just say, hey, get these guys into a room, get Jerry Jones some salt McGriddles, get my guy Parsons a sponsor kit for a new hair growth or whatever it may be. Sit them boys down and get this deal done. That should be the number one priority. We shouldn't be going into the offseason or training camp with this crazy, crazy uncertainty with energy. I am an energy person. See, that's why I really want to get this deal done so we won't have Albert Donaldson talking about trade Parsons, and that's what I'm tired of, right? I just want us to get back to football, get back to the goodness and graces and all of this good stuff about football, right? Not about this, hey, is he worthy? Is he valued? You get Colin Cowherd said that he's not worth this and he's not worth that. And then you got the minions or the millions of people that follow him repurposing these clips and they taking it and running it off with the plug. So I would tell y'all, let's just go ahead and get this Parsons deal done. Now, what I'm going to say with my guy Trayvon Diggs, and I really appreciate the super chat, and I appreciate Donaldson. And if I'm not mistaken, Albert, you are a 49ers fan, right? Let me know if I'm wrong, But with that being said, even in an off season, the craziest thing of it all, Trayvon Diggs been having multiple INTs, if I'm not mistaken, or multiple forced turnovers since entering in the league. His rookie year, he had 3 INTs. His 2021 year, he had 11 INTs, right? In 2022, he had 3 INTs. In 2023, he had a crucial INT and a crucial forced fumble because the guy was going to score in that Jets game. He kind of hawked him down, and he knocked that ball out. And then in 2024, he had 2 INTs in a year that was very pedestrian. I can't make this stuff up. Trayvon Diggs was hurt majority of last season, and he still gave us 2 INTs, 35 solo tackles. And let me see, passer rating allowed was 89.3. That is a very low passer rating. To this degree, a lot of people like to sully and denigrate him, but if you look up Malik Neighbors' number when Trayvon Diggs was out there on the field versus the Giants, oh my God, he was killing everybody. So they moved Malik Neighbors or Trayvon Diggs on Malik Neighbors, and he limited him to only 1 or 2 catches or something like that. It's a crazy number, but I think that he still eclipsed over 100 yards in that particular game. As crazy as it is, don't y'all know we used to go through a whole season with a healthy body like an Anthony Brown, and he couldn't still give us 2 INTs. He couldn't give us 2 INTs. And what's the other guy named first round draft pick? Byram, what's the last name? Jones? Yeah. He couldn't give us 2 INTs. A healthy, able body. And on top of that, to contextualize it, passer rating allowed, don't have me to go back and look it up. they still allowed higher, So at the end of the day, yes, he need to work on these missed tackles. I'm not gonna give him a full clean landing here. But he still had 2 INTs, 4 PBUs, 33 receptions allowed. You can't look. Let him come back. Let him come back, bro. And this is about to be a situation good for us forever and ever. Yeah. See, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget how good things are, or how things have been more appeasing or blessings for us, right? But not everybody is freed from the minds of those type of things, right? Yeah. But yeah, if we could go back to those olden days, then y'all realize how valuable things are as it relates to that. But sometimes people, even though we're heading in the right directions, they cause extreme distractions. But I think that Law, check the calendar. It is 2023. Diggs hasn't been him in years. Here's my God honest truth. When we look at Trayvon Diggs and we looking at 2023, after that Jets game, he got hurt in practice. And we only had the Costco sample size, man. Oh my gosh, man, close your eyes, y'all. Oh my gosh. I think we was on to something. We would have been in 2023, these little Costco sample sizes. Gilly on one side, Diggs on the other, Bland was inside the slot. Oh my gosh, boy, it looked like we had found a cheat code to football. And even though it was watered down because people fail to realize, and this is the classic Cowboys too, by the way, the Giants, week 1, was favored to win. I remember talking to my guy Bad Dog, and they was talking about the fact that they was coming off of a playoff win too, although they lost the second game. But keep in mind, Daniel Jones was considered better than Dak Prescott. All of these guys always be considered better than Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys blah, blah this, and the Cowboys blah, blah that. We still had the strange taste in our mouth. Think about this going into 2023 after 2022. And people were calling this team out, Dak Prescott, turnover machine, et cetera, right? But we only had 2 games with Trayvon Diggs and Gilly on one side and Bland playing down in the slot. And it was, if I could be a fly on the wall or even if I can be like a whisperer to Jerry Jones or whoever that ran that practice that day and say, hey, don't even practice Trayvon Diggs that week. The butterfly effect would probably have been affected. But they said that he was battling for the ball, right, in 2023 at practice against CeeDee Lamb, and he landed on either Lamb's cleat. He went up for the INT, and then all of his ligaments got all snapped up. Yeah, synovial fluid leaking out and all of that good stuff. But to make a longer story short, to answer your question, Toxic Tom, has Trayvon Diggs been the same since 2023? The answer to that is, quite frankly, he haven't been the same because we haven't got a chance to see it. They rushed him back, or he had lack of the war of attrition and all of this stuff, or the war of recovery. They said that he didn't perform or gave his all during that time frame of trying to get back into tip-top shape. He thought that his natural athleticism would get him back, and it was all about, hey, in 2023, well, after that game, going into 2024, the return of Trayvon Diggs, blah, 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 right? All off season, running through the sand. He got the documentary thing going and a whole bunch of other stuff. 2024 hit. We got new coaching. We got new staff. We got new this and new that. 2024 to us was a terrible nightmare because of how the injuries hit everybody. last season people fail to realize, man, you had a greater chance of falling off the skyscraper and not getting injured versus the Cowboys players just playing on the field. Everybody got hurt. Everybody. And it's just crazy, especially on defense. They was dropping off like flies, bro. But this return of Trayvon Diggs, and I'm not trying to be a cheerleader for him, he's not giving me any of that money. He got 7 kids to feed, and the kid ain't even over 27. He got a lot of kids, right? He ain't giving me nothing. He ain't giving me nothing. I'm not getting a dime from Aiden Diggs, Trayvon Diggs, Mama Diggs, or girlfriend Diggs, or whoever he's sliding with Diggs. I'm not getting nothing from that. But what I'm saying is he hear all of y'all complaints. And my Roll Tide Trayvon Diggs is about to showcase to the world that, hey, I'm not folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair. I'm going to showcase that I got the recovery speed. I can still play boundary tech. I'm one of the best cover corners in the league, and I'm looking for revenge. Yeah, and if you know anything, them Diggs, they got some Wolverine stuff going in because his brother had snapped up his legs, and him and Cardi B all in the castle. They on boats taking pink stuff. They are on the best behaviors of trying to showcase to the world that they belong. So I can't wait. So, yes, indeed. So, Law and Nations, thank you, man. Thank you for jumping in, Swain. Appreciate you. So, that's just my thoughts on Trayvon Diggs. I think that he could become one of those comeback player of the years type of groove. And speaking of that, after Dak Prescott snapped up his thumb, right, in 2022, they started to look at some potential analysis of everything and getting things going. In 2023, he showcased us these type of numbers. Granted, 2023, he had 4,516 passing yards, a 69.5 completion percentage, a 36 touchdown to 9 INTs, a 72.6 QBR, a 105, not .3 the fan, but 105.9 the passer rater, and then he had 242 yards on the ground with 2 rushing touchdowns, right? And he was considered MVP numbers, but there wasn't MVP numbers based off the fact that he played for the Dallas Cowboys. I get all of that. Close but no cigar type of thing. 2024, that's like crazy because we thought that he was going to be able to add to that resume and build up this momentum. But what the Cowboys did is that during that offseason, comparable to what we did this offseason, we brought in only Eric Kendricks, not a single soul for the offensive side, right? So we try to run it back with a less of talent. We got rid of Tyron Smith. We had 2 rookies on that offensive line, and we only had 1 showcasing of a wide receiver who held out the entire offseason by the name of C. Dangerous Lamb. He was fighting for his money. So, Jerry, stop getting these players to fight for the money. Go ahead and pay them. Not like you was going to trade Lamb away. Exactly. Not like you going to trade Micah Parsons away. Jerry don't trade these guys. He don't. And Steven, whoever we want to put the blame on, they don't know how to trade these guys. So I behoove the Cowboys to go ahead and pay these guys, right? But that's a whole nother conversation. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, from and it's on paper, I can't give you nothing tangible.
Yeah, on paper.
On paper. On a scale of 1 to 10, do you guys think that this particular team got more potentials than the 2023 team? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, do you think that Dak Prescott can get back to this, or what we seen last season was the real Dak Prescott? I need to know, I want to know, I got to know from y'all beautiful people that's in this chat right now and that's watching, is last year, was that more of like, hey, man, they just hose themselves? Or is that is exactly who Dak Prescott is? Is that who he is? I need to know from y'all thoughts Post it down in the chat. Post it all around everywhere. From a scale of 1 to 10, is Dak more close to what he did last year, or is he more close to 2023? Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah. Appreciate everybody, man, for jumping in. I'm reading y'all comments. Jeremy says 7. Seabass says 7. That's good. A good measure, right? Let me see. We got 110 from Juan. Appreciate you for the 10. Toxic Tom 5. Might be a little of both, to be honest. Okay. And who else we have here? Jay Fuller says a 6. There's nothing wrong with putting 5 in there, by the way. If for anybody who put 5 in there, I get it. That is something that I love to go over and discuss. Let me see if I can find this. And this is me just doing this on the fly. I don't know if I can pull it back up. It's been a minute since I've seen this video. I can't play the video, but we can hear the audio of the video. And let me see if I can do that while I'm pulling this up. And I'm going to read all of y'all comments, man, if we get things going in the right direction, Cowboy Nation. I hope I can pull this clip up because they was going into details about this same questionings that is Dak Prescott, one of those guys, the truth that lies within the confines of Dak Prescott. Let me see if I can put this. I'm gonna type it in. Bear with me, y'all. I'm building the plane as we fly. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it for y'all. I doubt if I can find it. The next time it come around, somebody got to Cowboys. Wow. Let me see if I can pull it up from here. Yeah, here it is. I think I got it, y'all. I think I got it. Hold on. Bear with me. All right. And okay. He did a great job
of that toe tapping.
Hold on. And boom.
Well, hold. So what happened? Here's Dak, 30th in Pro Football Focus rankings. Well, while Dak did have his worst season yet as a pro, the Cowboys front office also...
Can you guys hear this? Can you let me know? Can y'all hear this? And I forgot Smooth's name, but he got a channel, and it's How About Wow, And I forgot his name, man. I think he'd be on 105.3 The Fan and 1310 The Ticket, one of those radio stations. And here's his website right here, or his YouTube page. And let's listen to it. But I can't show the video of the highlights because that's a no-go. But hold on.
Also had a bad season underbuilding the roster. The result, absolute clarity on what it takes to win around Dak and have an efficient offense against a tougher schedule, which they will face in 2025. So 2023 wasn't a lie. 2024 was a truth serum. Let's do this.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
The first one, Brooks. Newbear, we just cannot have him play like this again, my man. And that is, we're going to, how do we open up the pass?
Guard in the flat. I mean, he's midfield. You release the ball, less concerning. Stuff happens.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
The other team's on scholarship too, right? They're getting paid too. But the red zone or when you're crossing midfield and you're
last year really let him,
here we go.
The play action is going to get you the bigger plays downfield. So it's handing it off. It's handing it off to get that defense leaning, and then you can go over the top for big plays, and the big plays throwing downfield, something Dak was very good at. So the concerning thing from last year is they were 27th in the NFL, Newbear, right? So this is where the coaching component comes of the surroundings on Dak Prescott last year really let him down. The only thing you're doing great is play action, other than staying completely clean. And we were 27th in the NFL calling those plays.
Think about that contextually, because PFF, these guys are talking about Dallas having arguably the worst running back room in the league. And if they were 27th last year and they're 30 or 32nd this year, in the absence of a playmaker and seeing who's going to step up and really take the reins, or in a running back by committee situation, that's what's so interesting about play action football. Because
all right, so let me stop Smooth right here, and I appreciate everybody, man. Be sure to give them a like, a follower, and share that content. They got about 483 subscribers there, and they should have at least 1,000. It's good production right there. Good conversation. Dawson is his name. I don't see his first name, but y'all can put his full name in the chat. Dawson and Newbear. All right. So what they're saying is basically the Cowboys were ranked 27th in the National Football League in rushing. And if they are 27th in the National Football League in rushing last year, they may be ranked 30th or 32nd in rushing this season. Now, Greg, I do get the notion that the run game may suffer because it's the unknown. But I want to know from you guys, because in the hearts of hearts, based off of Clayton Adams, based off of Connor Riley, I don't give a dog if we put Marcus Davis or Los Altos at running back. We should be better because we should have a finite system and a plan with run action. If you ever got a chance to look up Jeff Blasco, just give me a chance and just look him up and see if he ever knew how to teach people how to cut on a dime. But that's all a crime for your mind. Do you guys feel that the run game is going to be higher than 27 or lower than 27? Just give me a yes or no. And I love to have the interactions here. Do you guys feel that the run game will suffer this year like it suffered last season? And this is my point, too, on Dak Prescott. As we all know that every single quarterback got inefficiencies or deficiencies somewhere with their skill set. They're allergic to something. Somebody got to be allergic to something, right? And just like Superman, anybody, and we use this as an example. If you put on a kryptonite suit and you walk up to Superman, you can beat him like a rag doll, man. You can just slap him, get out of the way, Superman, If you block out the sun, come on with it. Come on with it. Let me see. Yeah. Superman, cool. He's the best, one of the best superheroes out there, You can slap Superman. If you get me in a room with Superman without the sun, I don't even need the kryptonite. Superman got 2 weaknesses. Well, he actually got 3 of them. Lois Lane. Something about that boo thing. Lois Lane, kryptonite, and no sun. You take any of those weapons away, Superman lose his mind, Oh, man, give me a kryptonite suit. Get your butt out of the way, Superman. I'm like, look at Law, man. Law beating the mess out of Superman. God, no. You put the sunlight away. Hit him in his gut. He fall to his knees. I'll pull his teeth out with pliers, man. Give Superman a ball cut. Lex Luthor ain't got nothing on me fighting Superman without the sun. Come on with it. But I'll watch this one cartoon when Superman lost Lois Lane. That brother turned into a victim. He turned into a villain, I meant to say. I think it's on HBO. I think the Joker, he fooled around and figured out a way to kill Lois Lane. And he didn't only kill Lois Lane, he killed her while she was pregnant. Oh man, Superman, he turned up on everybody. Superman turned up on everybody. So you gotta keep Lois Lane alive somehow if you're gonna use that as a pawn against Superman. Yeah, Injustice. Yeah, man, that's a good cartoon right there, Kelvin. Yeah. They fooled around, killed Lois. They had to go to Earth 15 or Earth 14 to bring that Lois Lane back, So they said, hey, Superman, stop killing us all. But yeah. Don't get Superman pissed off. But what I'm getting at is that I'm not calling Dak Prescott Superman, but even the superheroes there are deficiencies. There are inefficiencies in that said superheroes characters. So what I'm getting at, Dak Prescott, he really is a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback when you don't have run game. But when you do have run game, he's approaching that great elite category. So Dak Prescott will forever be that quarterback that's codependent upon run game, because where he flourished is play action. Where he flourished at is the element of illusion or a situation, whereas you got to hold that safety. But if everybody knows where he's going with the ball, it's going to get picked off. It's just like anything, in the words of Mike McCarthy. And the craziest thing of it all, the two, and I'm meaning this from the bottom of my heart, the two kinds of caliber of coaching that Dak Prescott had never really embellished in those departments. Of course, Jason Garrett was vanilla, and he was bland. It was like, yeah, that flavor of ice cream is good, but can we get some sprinkles, some cherry? Can we get some chocolate syrup here and there? No, he served you all vanilla. Now, Mike McCarthy, he came into the fold, and granted, he's a brilliant studier of the game when he's hungry. But after he is full and he's resting on his past, you get those type of things from Mike McCarthy. Law, do you have any proof to this? Yeah, I was breaking this down when he was doing it, when he had the chalkboard up, when he was a little bit lighter in the pants or what have you. Here's Mike McCarthy when he was really in his bag.
You don't want to be over here because now your room for air in your throwing motion is bigger, okay? Okay, front shoulder, okay? Now, I've had a problem here. You're telling the guy to get away from center? What's natural? His front shoulders pops up. Bad news, okay? Because when you come back, you want your front shoulder line discipline to be level, okay? Because when you're throwing a football, what I tell them all the time is throw downhill. Once you're thrown downhill, when you come off that back foot, you want that front shoulder down, you want your elbow in. You want the elbow in. The guy that said point to your target ought to be shot. That is not good. It's no different than throwing a punch. You don't throw a punch from out here. Your power is in tight.
You know, just ending it and thinking, oh, that's just an Aaron Rodgers throw to tight end. Yeah, looking, oh, that was just a lucky play. 8 years later, having Mike as my coach, understanding that was a play that they've practiced time and time again. The importance of the practice, of the details, of the communication, being on the same page, what to expect in those crucial moments.
So what I'm getting at is that coaches don't forget how to coach, but some coaches do lose motivation to coach. They begin to tap into their own psyche, and they leave out the important things. I always tell people, little Mississippi saying, don't miss the meat worrying about the potatoes. Mike McCarthy got too worried about the peas and the potatoes and forgot about the meat. Pause if necessary. And if you forget about the rudiments of what make your quarterback tick, what makes your quarterback great or elite, you can't get by it. Dak Prescott needs run game. I'm campaigning for Dak Prescott more so than anybody, right? But he is not the kind of caliber of quarterback that can survive a terrain of the running backs averaging at the 27th ranked or the 28th ranked. So the first initiative of what Shotty did was, let me bring in one of the best running back play caller design, Clayton Adams. And then let me get familiarity, because the person that touches the ball 100% of the time, the center. Let me go get the college coach that coached him so that he can continue to solidify his game. So what I'm getting at is that, yes, regardless of the situation about last year running back room, you guys can say anything and everything that last year running back room is better than this year running back room. I feel y'all. But I'm telling y'all right now that I would take this running back room with these sets of coaches, and I would beat y'all left and right any day, anywhere, versus last year running back room when there was no concise element of why you running the ball here and what you trying to do as far as a plan of attack there. That's why I say that this year running back room, without even seeing the tape, that I know for sure that this running back room is going to be better.
Even if you're not a great running team, but go back and look at even Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like some of the best quarterbacks of their generation had so-so running games or didn't have a bell cow guy, but they did enough to just make the defense have to respect it. And then, oh, by the way, when you put the ball in the running back's belly, the linebacker has to pause, right? They're not getting to their depth as fast, or whether it's horizontal or vertical stretch, and you're talking about creating seams for your guys to then go play in. The thing that should be different, I think the thing that we're all hoping is different, is that whether it's play action, whether it's about keeping the pocket clean, just not getting punched in the face on release, and having another guy in Pickens, having a healthy guy in Ferguson, where you have levels of the field that you can dictate to the defense what they can do, right? So that when you're picking them apart, if it is a situation where it's our guy versus your guy, hey, guess what? For the first time in a few years, our guy's better than your guy. And we got 2 or 3 of those guys that are better than 2 or 3 of your guys. That's a different picture.
No, you're absolutely right about that. And
that's a real good by New Bear. That's a real good analysis there, ladies and gentlemen. Really good. We got to start doing dictations. Granted, the additions of Brandon Cooks was at first we were happy because of his past performance. Everywhere he been, he was 1,000-yard receiver. But Father Time is undefeated, and when people know where you're going with the ball and the concepts of where you're running with the ball, we had a log jam. What is the log jam? Well, even though wherever Brandon Cooks been, and we just touching on this pathway of explaining the past so that we can understand the future, everywhere that Brandon Cooks been, he's also been lined up inside the slot and as well as outside. The problem is that your best wide receiver last season, that's where he eats at, inside the slot, two-way goes. Yes, occasionally you can line him up outside. So we had a log jam. So when it was time to line up Brandon Cooks, when he was on the outside, teams were like, okay, yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's cute. That's cutesy, you know? Because even if he got to take the top off the defense, that's a 5-step or a 7-step drop for Dak. That offensive line, that's chopped liver. They got 2 rookies there. My guy, Cooks, is good, but he lost the step, ladies and gentlemen. And he's on the outside. They waved him off. There have been games that they would just chip, release, just wave him off, man. Funnel him inside. If he catch it, But he's tiny. He's not getting separation. Don't y'all understand that? He's not getting separation. So with that being said, they was like, man, let's roll him off. Our primary thing is to take CeeDee Lamb out of the picture. And if they put Zeke or if they put Rico back there in the backfield, the Cowboys are not disciplined enough to continue to gash us with run game because that's not the identity of the Cowboys. They like to sling the ball all around. Yeah, Law, how did the staff help Cooks even W's the loss, even if he lost a step just from Toxic Tom? They didn't help him. They didn't help him. And a matter of fact, they hurt him more than they helped him. There were games last season that they put Cooks on the end around, and we saying like Cowboys, you got Turpin right there. Why would you put Cooks on the end around? Boy, we will really get them. And he couldn't get around to the edge. Them little legs were just moving. And that package, I was calling out, tiny boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? Instead of giving the ball to Cooks, you got Turpin right there. So the Cowboys do some idiotic things last season. It seemed like self-sabotagery for real. You know, that's malpractice. Yeah. And believe it or not, for those who want to know, when we did do the end arounds with Kevontae Turpin, the kid averaged 7 to 8 yards every end around. It was equivalent to 2016. when we played against Green Bay Packers in that postseason game. I get it. A lot of people say, hey, we looked up. Green Bay was up by 30 points on us. You know, it seemed like Green Bay always do that to us in the postseason. But one of the elixirs all that season was a Lucky Whitehead. People knew that the center of attention was Ezekiel Elliott. But Lucky, he averaged anywhere between 7 to 8 yards per end around. So what I was trying to explain to folks, that was way back, that was 10 years ago. Can you imagine it? Almost 10 years ago. I was explaining to people that by the Cowboys getting into their feelings, and I get it, that Lucky Whitehead slept with Ezekiel Elliott Sweeze and all of this stuff. Oops, I said it out loud. But it was a whole bunch of mess. Put that mess to rest, and I'm trying to win games. They should have at least dressed Lucky Whitehead out for that game in the postseason to get things moving and grooving. Put him on the end around. I need those 7 to 8 yards. The kid averaged that, you know, because all of the attention was on Zeke. We could have literally did that, got momentum going. It seems as if, though, regardless of who coaching this team, that we have those little fractions and cracks into this particular situation. So what I'm getting at is this season, I don't want us talking about if we are stale like old bags of chips that's left open in the backseat of the car, right? It's stale chips. And we know for sure we can get a splash play from the newer version of a Lucky Whitehead, which is Kevontae Turpin, right? Who's better? Then, damn it, they need to do it until the opposing team stop it. Sweep left, sweep right. Sweep left, and get that thing going. Because when we play against opposing teams, they do it to us. And we be looking crazy, don't we? It's time for us to reverse this thing. It's time for us to reverse it. So that's all I'm getting at, too. We got a lot of things to prove.
They ran into a big problem last year. I don't know if it comes up on any of these, but I found a graphic that showed just how bad they were going to the outside and how infrequently they even tried to do it. And as a result, not only was it killing your running game, but it was killing your over-the-middle pass game where CeeDee Lamb's trying to work, where Jake Ferguson's trying to work. What the lack of George Pickens or the lack of a legitimate secondary receiver did last year was effectively kill everything because they could sit on CD in the middle. And, oh, by the way, while we're here, we're also going to limit your running game up the middle. And the Cowboys have just not been good running outside. So they're daring you, please throw outside, run outside. We know you can't do either of those things. And, you know, I think for a lot of last season was just doomed to failure. It really was because of how they built the roster.
There's a human nature element of this too, because everything that you just said it can be and ultimately is in this situation true. And at the same time, when you then get a play call that is ostensibly designed for CeeDee Lamb to be the guy who gets the ball, even if he is covered or even if it is a tight window, because they've been struggling and because they're talking on the sideline and because you're looking at pictures and you're saying, hey, I'm open. And George Pickens is going to be chirping in his ear saying, I'm always bleeping open. Throw me the ball. Now you're forcing one to try to get your guy going. And it might be the wrong thing to do. And you might know that. And you're still going to do it because it's CeeDee Lamb. But CeeDee Lamb, go back to Dez. I mean, Dez is the most famous one, you know, with Megatron and Randy Moss. I mean, Dez is one of the only guys to legitimately have two corners on him pre-snap and sometimes throw a safety over the top. Like, Dez was that special. CeeDee Lamb, for as great as he is, he's not the same kind of physical receiver. He's not the same kind of receiver as a Dez, as a Megatron, as a Randy Moss. George Pickens is. And so what's going to be really interesting about this is if you've got George Pickens and you have to double him or the coverage rotates to him in double coverage post-snap and CeeDee Lamb is now singled up, we're going to get to see CeeDee Lamb do things that we haven't been seeing him do for a couple years because the opportunities just aren't there. And then you hit CD, now you got to go back to doubling him. Now George Pickens is singled up, right? It's a cause and effect type thing. And to this point, for several years now, the only cause and effect has been what the defense has been able to do to you.
Man, these boys speaking my type of language here. And that's why I say we got a lot of things to prove. For one, we got to prove that we got the big stick policy, right? That at the end of the day, people going to bend to us, not us bending to them. And I don't know why Mike McCarthy, and of course it could be front office on how the tools that they gave him, because they only added the addition of Eric Kendricks last season during the offseason, and he don't even play offense. He was on the defensive side. So when we start to look at the fullness of the picture, can we dictate what the defense do now? Because at this point, if you're going to try to roll coverage Lamb's way, and now it forces you to be in a predicament to allow George Pickens to be one-on-one now with the opposing DB, or whether or not it's what happens in that lineup or that alignment that you have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb on the same side, right? Because Lamb can line up inside the slot. What happens to that particular picture now that you got maybe a Mingo or a Jalen Tolbert one-on-one, or to the far play side on the field side, now you got tiny Kevontae Turpin out there. And you sitting there looking like, well, hold on now. I got Turpin at the X position. He's all by himself. Can we just wave him off and don't cheat the safety to his side? Or do you trust that DB, this one-on-one, mano-a-mano, all by themselves on the field side with small Kevontae Turpin who can run a 4.2 crazy? If you play off on him, I can do a 3-step slant. He'll take it to his house. If he plays tight on him without the safety over the top, now it's literally, if I jam Kevontae Turpin and miss, that's a tub. That's a tub right there. So those are good problems to have. And that's a lot of things that we can showcase and prove out there. And hopefully the Cowboys are thinking beyond their mindset to get it going that way. If you guys agree with me in the chat, put 4 in the chat.
Yes. Yeah, because I think team building, and this Cowboys team has to pick one of these years and say, hey, we got to make sure Dak has everything. And, he's on the other side of 30, 4 years left on his contract. Pick one and please give a great team. When you mentioned like Pickens getting one-on-one, it reminds me of Des Cotton in 2014.
Yeah. No doubt. Brandy states this, and I appreciate you for your support and your love and adulations for the nation. Brandy states we have to prove that we can stop the run. And that's my next topic angle there, to talk about the where we can prove that, because we got a lot of things to prove anyway, right? And can we stop the run? My take on that, and hear me out, I posted the video earlier, but I'm definitely going to circle back and swing back around to that part of it, especially on that. We got another super chat. Dylan. This is from Sadiq Charles. Let me see if the AI going to speak on this.
Sadiqa Charles, $5. Yes, Dylan, this is our rule. Up over here. You must pay $10 to be here.
Okay. If you're going to talk noise, you're going to talk stuff, is a payment. We extort all Eagle fans, Washington fans, and Giants fans in the Cowboys community over here. I always say you're always welcome to sit back, sip on your beverage of choice, but there's consequences and repercussions to troll, though. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, these are my troops. Well, hey, you got to pay to play then. At the end of the day, we don't care, and they will hold you in contempt. Yeah, especially this offseason. Like when the season kick off, come on, be free to talk your stuff, especially week 1 when the Cowboys bury them birds on September the 4th. But for right now, while we talking to all folks and you trying to rile up the trolls and everything, you got to pay for it. Yeah. So my people will hold you in contempt, and you just got to get it going. I know you got a few money, darling. Is it darling or Dylan? Yeah. And where Eric? Eric, I know you somewhere watching. Go ahead and pull out that wallet. Come on with it.
Damn! up.
Come on with it, you know.
Take the money out, all of it. Come on.
Minutes to go. It's
Wasting my
what,
time
4th
now.
and
Come
3.
on.
We have Cole Beasley underneath for an easy first down. Keep the chains moving, grind this game out. But Tony and Dez knew if you get one-on-one, we're going to it. And I feel like that's going to be the same with George Pickens, and hopefully the coaching staff insists on it. When George Pickens is one-on-one, the entire stadium should know what we're doing. And they
go back to that trap coverage in the
Yeah. So that's them and their thoughts on that, man. Be sure to support them and subscribe to the channel. I think they did a great job on that piece right there. The link, I just posted it in the chat area. Let me see. They had 583. I'm the 84th, 584.
We have Cole Beasley.
So 485 people subscribe. So y'all subscribe to them, man. Get them at least to 500, and let's get things going from there. All right, so moving a little bit further into this conversation, we're gonna touch on the people. No, let me go right here because I think that I need to cover all of this this notion right here before we switch over to these conversations. And it's good to see the quarterback out here working, trying to get back on the right foot and the right page with everything. He's throwing the ball comfortable, right? And you got to have comfort. And hopefully this season will be a season for us to see what he can do.
Like you look at Jaden Daniels 1 year, all of a sudden he's the NFL's next great. And then CJ Stroud, the next great. But you see what Dak Prescott does, loses an MVP race 2 years. He probably should have won statistically and didn't get it. And then they cast away him like he's nobody, like he's nothing, like he's not capable. And then you look at, in an overarching view of the Cowboys as a franchise, and you look at so many other teams that haven't won Super Bowls in the longer time frame as them, but they're the butt of the joke. So when you look at Dak Prescott, he doesn't get looked at in the same prism as some of these other teams, other quarterbacks. He's always getting like disrespected on an aggressive level, when the nuanced conversation that you can have is like, yeah, this is a quality quarterback. When he's on, he's one of the best in the league. When he's injured, the team crumbles.
Come on with it.
City Kid Charles $5. Dylan, you got a break cause that Eric owes 15 from yesterday, and he must pay 20 every time he is here.
Yes, indeed. Seabass says YouTube violated us all by putting the government names up there. They did, man. You know, they sold it to the wrong organization. And speaking of selling it, this right here is the link to my personalized website. I would love for you guys, if you can, support the nation there, especially on all and everything and anything that we do. Be sure to click that link, and it'll take you straight here. And it will have all of the content, all of the information that we exhibit and exude here on Cowboys and Law Nation Sports. So be sure to check us out, your source of sports inspiration, motivation, and sports therapy. So that's what we get at. And I do embrace, I see Ryan Leaf in the chat. I do embrace the opposing views of other individuals, long as it's within the guidelines, right? So let's not self-promote. Let's not bash. Let's not troll to that degree. But if you bring a substance to the table, come on with it. You know, we do embrace different points of views here. It's not like, you can't talk about the players here. Like, for example, Trayvon Diggs, yes, he got to improve. For ultra example, Dak Prescott will be a fool to say, hey, man, he don't have nothing to prove. No, he got something to prove. Fortunately, the man getting 60 APY, right? So with great power come great responsibility. I think there's somewhere in Spider-Man universe that they had that quote. So is it his fault that he get paid all of that money? No. He would love. Sure, I want somebody to give me $60 million, $250 million, and say, hey, Law, prove it, Law, prove it. Shoot, every day I'll be over here like, yeah, I'm going to prove to y'all. yeah, somebody spoil me with that. Give me $250 million and talk about, hey, man, Law, you got to prove it now. Hell yeah, I want to be on that side of the world. Come on with it. I know Swain was like that, Seabass, Toxic Tom. Come on, everybody. Hey, shouldn't I get mad at somebody saying that Law got to prove it now since we gave him $250 million? Is that being disrespectful? No. No. Come on, Multiverse. Give me $250 million and say, hey, man, this dude got to prove it, man. Yeah. Sure. I will be out here trying to prove it myself, you know. I'm not going to rest on my own and say, yeah, I'm good. No, I'm trying to level it up. Give me $250 million.
And yeah, he's injury prone, and he's proven that, you know, staying on the field is a feat for him that he has to overcome. But when he's out there, like, the Cowboys have a fighting punches chance against anybody. And I just feel like that conversation gets lost on a national scale and maybe just not enough in our own fan base. Like,
yeah, you're right. You know, and it's annoying conversation. It's very annoying, like he said, when it simply goes that way and you don't add the context to it. Right. So, and this is for what it is.
At the end of the day, I just think that Dak is as great as he is, or as accomplished as he is, for a Cowboys quarterback who's actually this year getting ready to break every Cowboys passing record, is underappreciated by his own fan base and the NFL in general.
Now, appreciated and underappreciated and damn near hated, they all in the same category, because at the end of the day, people do get short-sighted and they will only look at the numbers as far as the dollars. And that's just how it goes, unfortunately. And when you get paid that amount of money and it's open to the public, of course, you know, people going to say, hey, these are the things that the Cowboys must consider to improve. And let me say this. These people, they the ones that owe us everything. Jerry Jones, they owe us. They need to prove it. They got a lot to prove. So we got to continue to hold their feet to the fire. We do. And the head one that need to put the crown on his head, he is in charge. He is going to put a tiara or something. You know, he is in charge. So yeah, these two right here, they got a lot to show us. We tried to boycott. We tried to hurt them in their pockets, man. But, man, this man is like, what, 90-something, 80, 84, 85. He got more years behind him than in front of him. So talking about taking a few money away from him ain't going to really hurt him that way. You know, shoot. I mean, he bought the team for $140 million. Let me know how much this team is worth now. Yeah. So all of these football operation people, they got to prove it for us. Yeah. Willie McClay, he got to prove that, hey, he got the right pieces this season. Right? Chris Vaughn, Deuce Vaughn daddy, you know, he got a lot to prove. Yeah, his son is playing on the team. So we're going to be looking at him. Yeah, him. He got a lot to prove. So all of these guys, man, they should look at this and say, hey, we got a lot to prove, man. You know, yeah. All of these operational folks, they got a lot to prove. Sarah and them, she got a lot to prove. Everybody that's on this list got a lot to prove to us on whether or not we're going to continue to be in these particular parts. Pittman said, yeah, he a vampire, Law. Yeah, 10 billion Toxic Tom. So can you imagine somebody who never made $1 million, right, trying to say, yeah, Jerry, we going to show you, you know, and he made $1 million 10 times over or multiple 10 times over, you know. No, you know what I'm saying? So we can say this and that, but the measurables of a great head coach is how can you handle throughout all of this. And head coach Shotty, 26 years of experiences. You can't wipe that away. But no years of experiences as it relates to being a head coach. So all eyes is on Shotty, right? Offensive coordination. You got Clayton Adams. He got a lot to prove. You got Chin Young, who don't look like his name, but he's Chin Young. He got a lot to prove. Assistant line, offensive line, quality controls guy. Ken Dorsey, y'all seen his attitude. He got a lot to prove. All of these guys, we done heard their names in good rooms. It's not like I see a Jeff Blasco, by the way. I'm just beating up Jeff Blasco really bad. And Jeff Blasco going to send me a personalized letter talking about cease and desist. Yeah. All of these guys, we heard great things about them. Matt Eberflus coming off of being a head coach, now defensive coordinator. And we've been talking about, can the Cowboys stop the run? Can the Cowboys stop the run? Can the Cowboys stop the run? Well, the first thing that I asked Matt Eberflus when I got a chance to talk to him, what are your plans on stopping the run? And he values stopping the run over everything and anything on defense. As a linebacker, he should too, by the way. And he's the damn good coach. 16 years of experiences. Oh, Shotty got more years of experience than Matt Eberflus. Ain't that crazy? But 16 years of experiences. And out of that 16 years, when he was on himself, by himself, alone, every year his defense finished in top 10 against the run. So that resume should carries over. Now, our issue is with this overall, collectively speaking, is maybe we have a little personnel issue. Let's talk about this. We've seen videos and footages of my guy working in the sands and everything. Let's listen to this right here. Of Solomon Thomas, first and foremost. Let's start over from the beginning. Let's look into the film of Solomon Thomas, first and foremost. He is a guy that's here for the first time this season, and he's going to be playing the 3-tech role. Now, he's not a 330-pound guy. He's not a 310 guy. Now, he's more of a round right at 298, close to 305. Granted, as a 3-tech, he's going to be penetrating, getting upfield, and shooting through B-gap. He will probably play behind Osa. And if you look at his total work and production levels, he's right up there with Osa last season and the last 2 seasons. So this will be intriguing to watch how they're going to put out the snap counts with the two. I will say this, though. When you look at Osa tape, of course, he got fast acceleration and burst and getting upfield. The thing is, a lot of people would say that, the law of diminishing rates of return established with Osa down the stretch, and you see the drop off. Well, now we have a quality backup, and this guy should be able to fill right on in with the gaps and create that pressure. Now, Matt Eberflus, he may do something differently. Maybe he will have a situation and scenario where it's Osa and Solomon Thomas is out there in the field at the same time. Nevertheless, when you look at these type of drills, what you're looking for is that burst, that acceleration. Can he get off of his release? Can he keep his pad levels low? Can he attack with hands? Those feet, slow feet don't eat. So can he move his feet? Can he move his weight? And can he attack and get the opposition out of their cylinder? He's going to be going up against guards. He's going to be going up against centers. So he's going to have to knife down inside, show a little bend, and burst in acceleration. So if you're looking at Solomon Thomas this offseason, working, running the sands with Osa, by the way, and Parsons, this is a great thing. Because what we need more so than anything, depth. Keep in mind, offensive linemen, they don't rotate. Defensive linemen do. And we talking about 60 snaps, 60 reps, basically going up against a guy that you done wore down. And if you look at the hands, they are valid. And if you look at what Osa can do, he can get upfield as well. That this should be a blessing and a plus for us, especially Cowboy Nation, as it relates to that defensive interior. Now, Solomon Thomas, he's pretty good against stopping the run. And he's not a stranger of Aaron Whitecotton. So those are all positive things for us, especially when you look at Aaron Whitecotton, what he was able to do in Jets. Every year they finish or qualify within the top 10 as it relates to stopping the run. And I'm telling people, don't fall in love with size and all of this stuff. Fall in love with system, scheme. And if the scheme is right, And if the mindset and determination is right, then guess what, Cowboy Nation? You should be able to stop the run. Right? Keep this in mind. Last season, Dan Quinn, he wasn't here. And we still had issues on stopping the run. Dan Quinn went to a whole different environment. Guess what? They still had issues on stopping the run. There goes to, like I said, scheme, system, concept, and as well as a little personnel. But if you look at the total picture of everything, run defenses is just like, it is exactly a disciplinary thing. So I think that Solomon Thomas is going to be a good piece for us, a good addition. And I love seeing these work out, using those hands, getting upfield, and letting people know, hey, I got dexterity. I can shoot and get upfield. I can get to the quarterback. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours.
Eric, Old Head Young Bull, Stuart $9.99. Having a great day, Allah. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. Appreciate your support for the nation. When I state that the run defense is disciplinary, you got to be disciplined to stop the run. You got to be coached up with technique to stop the run. And those are things that has been exhibited from Aaron Whitecotton. But the good thing about all of that is that these guys are independently working with Micah Parsons, Osa. Shout out to my guy Lance, the trainer there. No Dallas Cowboys staff said, hey, man, y'all need to do this, do that. No, they independently went there, worked out on the sands, and getting things going. Solomon Thomas is already in the fold. So if the wolf pack hunt together, they're going to eat together. These are guys that's trying to elevate their stance with everything, and I can't wait to see this season get going. Now, if you fool around and watch this show and it smells kind of funny, and you know for sure you got to get in control of those smells and those odors, I got the perfect solution for you. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go, and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it.
Let's go, man! Let's go!
Let's go, man. Let's go with it, Cowboy Nation. Yes, my guy in the chat talking about gap control. You got to be able to be in control of those things. And I'm going to go down this list of guys. I'm going to put like a check mark by the guys on this team that ultimately need to prove it that they belong, right? And, of course, going through a prove-it year is always something. We can say the entirety of the team, but let me just give y'all some data on that. You know, that Dak Prescott, he got to show it, right? I get it. If he even get a hangnail this year, he's going to be qualified or lumped into that injury-prone type of situation that every year he's hurt guy. And why you paying him this and that? Javonte Williams, he's another guy that was hurt but played all last year a little bit, and now he's in a situation, new environment. He's supposed to be your power back, so he got something to prove. Sanders, to a degree, they fighting. Sanders and Javonte, they fighting for that veteran role on his team. They got a lot to prove. Lamb, he had a pedestrian year last season, according to his knowledge of what he wants, and he got to prove that, hey, y'all pay me too. I can get it done. Pickens going into a contract year. He got a lot to prove as it relates to that. Mingo, Jalen Tolbert, I think Brooks is going to be the odd man out. But them two guys right here, Mingo and Tolbert, they got a lot to prove. A lot to prove. Sadiq Charles, thank you for the super chat so much. Let the AI speak on it.
Sidika Charles, $5. There you go. Eric, you owe now 25.00. Now you have a good day. It is 1:45 Eastern Time. So you must pay $25 and stop with this layaway mess.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So, hey, she's giving you a little grace right there, but she's giving you time frame to go collect them old fines. So once you clear out your old fines, man, you be okay. But appreciate you. Extortion is at its all-time height with any Eagle fan that's in here. Ferg got a lot to prove, ladies and gentlemen. Ferg got a lot to prove. There's been a lot of people been selling and denigrating him and saying that, hey, he's not worthy to be XYZ or the tight end one. And I get all of that. But Brevin span forward. He's fighting and he's leaning forward to take that spot and that shine. So y'all be careful because span forward could just show up and show out. Tyler Guyton, oh, my God. As a sophomore player, we need for him to get better as far as penalties. If you look at his feet, it's not a lot of bad tape on him. Of course, he was lunging a little bit. But to be fair to him, he got good feet. He can anchor in. He's solid. He's athletic. Let's see what he can do. Outside of lunging and getting too many penalties and just thinking too much, because you don't want that to happen as a left tackle, especially when you got your $60 million quarterback, keep putting that out there, or APY over $250 million as it relates to his overall contract. You need to protect that up best, right? So he got a lot to prove. Outside of that, I would say Terrence Steele, he got a lot to prove it too. So that's how many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a possible, maybe 2 possible, 7 in a possible on this team that need to showcase and show up and improve. Now, on the defensive side, and then we're going to open up the phone lines and get things boogieing. All right, Fowler coming off of a double-digit sack. I think that Fowler expressed his thoughts and his concerns of him being overlooked and overshadowed over there in Washington. He's like, man, y'all giving all of these other guys praises and you forgot about me. Y'all spit upon my double-digit sack production. I should be able to do X, Y, and Z. He had only a spoonful of sacks, and he himself got a lot to prove that, hey, they made a mistake. And I love it because he's going to have snake venom as it relates to playing Washington twice a year. And I can't wait for him to get multiple sacks on that particular team. And he's going to spoon feed us some of the details of what Washington was doing over there. So let me put a check mark by him. He got some things to improve. Mozzie, do I even have to explain what he got to improve on? Do I even have to go down that way? No, I don't have to go down that way. Also, he got his bag. He got things to prove. Micah Parsons, every year people doubt him. They sully and they denigrate him. He got to this point to showcase that I'm consistent. He's the first player in NFL history to go 3 seasons consecutively with 13 sacks. That's not easy to do, right? And on top of that, with Parsons going into this particular situation, just pay the man. Kenneth Murray, I'm going to put a dot, an asterisk by these little linebackers right here. Overshawn got something to prove that he can stay healthy, right? He got rid of that unlucky 13 number, right? And he's wearing 0 now. So he got a lot to prove. Bland, he got a lot to prove. It's a contract year for him. Diggs, when he come back, he got to prove that, hey, I belongs here. Y'all paid me, and I'm going to show you. Izzy got to a lot to prove to let people know that, hey, I belong, right? That's what he got to prove at. And that's how many players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the areas where these guys got to improve at, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are in the Dallas area and you see something like this and you got a chance to witness it, this happened over there in Garland. We hope all is well. But if you are somehow in the fender bender or you've been smashed up by an 18-wheeler, right? And it's definitely not your fault, right? And I pray to God that you survive in these type of situations. You get T-boned, you get a fender bender, or you get ran off the road, and you got to document everything. Let me tell you, the first people that you need to contact and reach out to is these guys right here.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
And they understand the cost that is involved.
Call my phone. That is Frenkel and Frenkel personal injury lawyers. We hope all is well when you get into a wreck, but let's get you back on the right path with Frenkel and Frenkel personal injury lawyers. You can call 214 or 817, and all of the threes you can dial until you get a person on the other end. Now, granted, if you call that number beyond the hours, maybe you don't get any. But there's a website that you can punch in and give all the information to, and that's FrenkelFirm.com. Be sure to check us out there as well. They have a combined over 100 years of experiences. Be sure to reach out to them, especially on all other things that you need in the personal injury. Now, my number, my hotline for your mind, 657-390-7391. Let's get that going. I got from the 409. What's on your mind? Poindexter. Come on with it.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Nothing much, man. All is well. I can't complain, bro. Yeah. It's good to hear you,
hey, man. You know,
yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're doing these dog days of the summer now, man. And I wish you a happy 4th of July. You know, maybe you get out there to the cookout and everything like this here.
Yeah.
You know, so when my phone call dropped, but I remember asking you a question. You remember when every time they bring up Dak Prescott, you know, making $60 million, you know.
Right.
And I asked you the question, do you think Jerry Jones deserved to be a billionaire?
Well, favor is not fair, and those are things that we can all say. He took the risk, and he deserved to get there because of the risk. He took the risk. He borrowed money. He borrowed money. He walked out on faith, and he saw something. He grew it. It's not like he was given $1 billion, right? He took the risk of borrowing money that he didn't have for $140 million. And he consistently tried. He could have rejected the whole ideology of the answer of no, because he originally tried to buy the San Diego Chargers. And his father, he got really mad and upset because his father wouldn't lend him the money. So I'm not going to dog the man for taking the risk and now being successful with it. So, yeah, he deserved to have $1 billion.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that right there where it is. So
right.
If he deserved to be a billionaire, then Dak deserved to be paid $60 million, right?
Right. Dak deserved to do that because, I mean, there's people that work at jobs and work at things that they do in their professions, right? And Dak Prescott did just that. He worked a job, whereas he was considered, far as from a numbers metrics, far as from, you know, people get all bogged down into win to loss ratios. Like that is the reason why you should get your bag, which that's not the case nor the scenario. You work out, you perform, you playing at the highest levels. It's to a degree that if people qualify that you only get paid if you win the Super Bowl, then that would be a whole different storyline. Nick Foles should have been getting paid $1 billion, or anybody who won the Super Bowl should get paid $1 billion. No, it don't work that way, right? Because it's a team sport. But are you consistently, far as a metric aspect, top 5 or top 10 in your category. Yes. People act as if though Dak Prescott been qualifying as number 30th or number 25. You know what I'm saying? Or 15th.
Yeah.
Nah, he's literally from a metric aspect, top in his position, so he should get paid that way.
Well, I tell you this here. This is what I believe. I believe both men made the business the business.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? They both achieved that by making the business, by taking care of the business. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, we as fans, we don't really think about the business. We just think about the football. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to put that out there. Now I'm finna talk about this football, man.
Come on with it.
Now, I've heard Vosh Lombardi and Brothers, and one thing that I brought up to Vosh, and I'm gonna bring up to you, man, what y'all are doing now, right now, and I can't wait till this season comes up, man. What y'all are doing now, this media has all now they found out what we're doing. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
Now the people like the Stephen A's and stuff, they are looking like fools, man, because people are exposing them now.
Right.
We have people that can get out here and talk real football. We used to be that 20%, and now we're crossing over. Because see, one thing about Stephen A. and them, they can sit up there and say whatever they want, and nobody's there to dispute them. I remember one time we was talking about it. If you and Stephen A. Smith had a debate, you'd kill him.
Oh yeah, sure.
He lose all credibility. He know he can't be out on these streets, man, because if he get out on these streets, he gonna look like the fool that he is. And all his little minions that be out there, the Shadys, the Ochos, even Dave, I think it was Dave Hillman, he was saying when he was on the network that they tried to ostracize him when he would bring up facts, when they were doing all this old crazy stuff with Dak, coming up with these crazy numbers, man. And, you can't dispute numbers when you talk about Dak. But the only thing about it is they will talk about the worst Dak they can find. They never talk about the best Dak. They never talk about the interception ratio that's historic. They never talk about the accuracy that's historic when you put them up against all quarterbacks in history. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
But this is what I'm talking about for this year. We're going to get some real conversation, man, because people, especially Eric come in with this stupid stuff and everything. I'm glad y'all making them pay a tariff. You need to pay for stupidity. You need to pay for that stuff, man. Because, I'm serious, man. We've been doing this. I've been listening to you for the last 3 years or so, and I see the change. I see that you're going to get some people to want to talk to you this year with some real cowboy talk, not that fluff we hear on the networks.
Right.
I think the networks are going to go down, and this is going to be the new rave. We're going to have round tables. When you do the NFC East round tables, that's what people need to be listening to hear about football. I love the round table because I get to hear a little bit of what's happening in Philadelphia. I get to hear about a little what's happening in Washington and stuff. When I look at sports, man, I want to be informed. That's why I listen to you and other podcasts, content creators. I don't even listen to the network. This Netflix thing coming out with Jerry Jones and stuff and everything. I don't watch it because I think you might be in it. That's
I may be in it. I had to sign some disclosures and stuff, so I don't know if they're going to use my piece in it. But
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason I'm gonna watch it, because I'm hoping that the Lord get some part of it. You know what I mean? And we can start getting this media going, man, so we can have real conversations about this team. And when you talk about who needs to improve or who needs to show up this year, everybody needs to show up. I watched football, man, since I was a kid, and nobody thought the Giants was going to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you start at the first of the year with both of these teams, with the Patriots getting mossed and all this old kind of stuff, nobody thought that the Giants would beat them in the Super Bowl. So I know anything can happen in a football year. And everybody's saying what shot he's doing and whatever, it's going to look foolish if they lose or whatever. I don't think they're going to lose. I really don't think they're going to lose. I think we're going into a new thing. Now, you can say I'm drinking Kool-Aid. I don't really believe in drinking Kool-Aid. I just believe in having the faith that anything can happen in a football season. I know this. Last year, we was decimated by injuries. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming. You know, so you never know what's going to happen during the season and stuff and everything like that.
No doubt.
Well, like I said, these are dog days of summer, man, and sometimes I kind of reach for things during this time. So I'll wait for the training camp, and I'll make sure that I I'll give the donation to the Oxford Fund,
Oxnard,
because I want to get your Oxnard. I'm sorry, Oxnard.
No, you good. You good, Rose. Yeah, man. I thank you,
Oxford,
man. Hey, man, I go to Oxford too. Man. I'm quite sure. You know. Hey, give me some shoes, man. I need them. You know.
We need some new shoes. Man, let me get off of here, man, because I'm rambling. So I got to say it.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys?
Yes, indeed, man. That's my guy, man. That's Poindexter, man. Great call from him. And I get it. People like to affiliate independent individuals with earning, right? It's like, if you work for XYZ company, let's say you work for a light company, and you saying that their overall portfolio is down, but you work for the light company, you got to climb the pole to put the lights up there. Should you earn that check? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the overall company is doing. You still want to get paid. So, JB, when you look at overall the concept of Dak Prescott, he got paid what the market was rendering. And the Cowboys, it's up to them to either let him see the market or not. But they didn't do that, so his agent finagled and finessed so that he can get paid the best, right? And that's just how it goes. That's how life is, right? So you can't put in he didn't earn, and then you put two playoff wins in 10 seasons. That is designed so that he can look crazy, right? But how can you then in return say, well, Kyler Murray got paid, and he's getting paid $250 million, by the way. Trevor Lawrence got paid. He's getting paid $250 million, by the way. Josh Allen, he didn't lift up nobody's Lombardi trophy, and his overall contract is $90 million more than Dak Prescott. Don't y'all know the equivalencies of money? If I'm making $90 million more, there's some people who would never get a chance to see $1 million, right? So expound that upon your mind that this individual is making $90 million more. Like, it's really Josh Allen $90 million more or better than Dak Prescott? That should be the answering conversation. He's not, but he's getting paid what the market is rendering. Now, granted, we haven't seen Josh Allen hit the open market because they value him and all of these good things. And I get how contract works. But at the end of the day, when you are playing at a quarterback position in the National Football League, you're going to get paid millions of dollars. Not based off of not based off of the team success, but it's going to be based off of your individual metrics, not playoff wins and losses, by the way, Cowboy Nation. So that's why I'm trying to educate you guys on contracting 101. That's just how it goes. That's just the price of doing business. But people get in their feelings and they say, well, we haven't won X, Y, and Z, But by this particular team winning, they should get paid. That's not how that works, because if that's the case, Brad Johnson should be the highest paid quarterback when they won the Super Bowl. Just because they made it to the Super Bowl and ultimately lost, Rex Grossman should have been the highest paid. It don't work that way. Flacco and beyond. It just doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen. But I get it. It is for what it is. I got the next caller that's on this particular line for your mind, and it's from the 901 boys. Man, you're live on it, man. Talk to me.
What's up, Law?
Not much, man.
Shout out Penny. Shout out Tigers. Shout out Grizz. Shout out John. Shout out Glorilla. Shout out 3-6. Shout out 8-Ball. Shout out Young Dolph. You know you got to throw him in there. You always throwing him in there. And shout out PSU.
Yeah, and JSU, man. You got to put a J in front of the T, man. JTSU. I love it.
JSU. I just had one quick point, man. Never that, sir. Never that. We talk about training camp heroes.
Right.
You were talking about a few years ago. You got guys that shine in training camp, and when the bright lights come on, whether it's preseason game or just getting spot play in regular games, they come up short. Mm-hmm. So when I talk to you, we talk about competition, let the best man win, and all that. So how do you guard against training camp heroes and picking the best player for the job? That's all I got. M-Town in the house. Hopefully I won't get chased by no dog today. I'm out.
All right, my dog. Yes, indeed. Training camp heroes is going to be at the tip of this month here. We're going to go over all of those things, how this should go. The best player should be able to get a chance at it. The NFL is not for long. But if you earn, and Boss Cowboy Sports been doing this for a minute, it's just like Gladiator, you know.
Are you not entertained?
The Cowboys fan base they absolutely do root for it like it's a gladiator. If you win the crowd, you win your time. Kevontae Turpin, the reason why he's on his team, he won the crowd. He won the crowd. That preseason game when he was taking them to the house, that speed, that agility, you show up multiple times, you win the crowd. DeRon Bland, he won the crowd. Those training camp games, those preseason games, even when he got burnt, it's all about the short memory that he was able to exhibit and exude. He won the crowd. So you got to, in training camp, earn your way and learn to win the crowd, and that will be given to you. Now, there will be some people that can showcase really good things before those pads come on. I remember me and Shango, we were talking about Reggie Davis. I know y'all heard the story over and over again. To a degree last season, it was Billy Johnson, right? Tyron Billy Johnson looked good out there. He won the crowd. They gave him some playing time in preseason game, but you had quarterbacks that couldn't hit water if he fell off a boat. So he got bitten with the ultimate levels of not being able to play due to the fact that he couldn't continue to win that crowd. Unfortunately, that's the Cowboys' politic ways, right? But neither here nor there. When people talk about earnings and they talk about worth and value, it's all about being able to establish those things too, far as relationships before they grow, before they bud. And by me being able to be in this space and being able to be tapped into not just Law Nation, but anything and anywhere that I go, I borrowed what they call credibility. So now my opinions, my thoughts is way heavier than the novice or the unknown. That's borrowed credibility, baby. And that's foresight, not just hindsight. So when I'm at the table with these group of ladies, of course people reach out to me because they don't have access. I do now. Why? Because of the rapport. because of the understanding that Law Nation is not only for the Cowboys. I'm Law Nation Sports. I'm just crafted in doing this for a hobby, and people fall in love with the vision. They can see it, right? So when we were operating in these lights, it's always the bigger picture, the bigger picture. So when people talk about value and worth, now granted, these ladies, they can ultimately lose on July the 11th, right? And will Law Nation be validated because he sat down at the table with these ladies and they lost? No. Validation is only good for parking. I can't express this out enough. So when we start to talk about these particular things, it is tangible for you guys to help support the nation, because there are things that I could be doing better or even more if you guys support the nation, right? Everything and anything that you guys see me set up is all done from sweat equity from law. Not a third party, someone is sponsoring or donating this, or these rooms that I'm entering in that I have to talk a certain way to be in these rooms. No, it's all this sweat equity from law. So that's why it's very important to understand the small things that help creates the big things, right? So yeah. So it is for what it is. All right, so let me let the next caller on from the 206. MJ, you in the mix. Talk to me, man.
How you doing?
Hey, man, all is well. I'm doing great. Doing great.
How you been? What's been happening? I've been checking out that. Did you see that report when I told you, man, you was right. My sorority. Oh my God. He wasn't teaching the linemen nothing.
Right. He was there. Look, this is the bottom line, MJ. These guys were there to collect checks. They got mouths to feed. They got squeezes at the house. They got things that they're trying to do to help elevate their family. When they knew that it was a one-year deal and they knew that the head coach was on his way out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, these guys were on the phone because people fail to realize we only got 5 months of football. It's not a full year of football. So these, within the confines of 5 or maybe 6 months of football, they got to make sure that they can make sure that they got a roof over their head and somewhere that they're going to be coaching that next season. So they picking up the phone saying, hey, you going to look out for me, man, if you get that job? So that's the bottom line. Last year, these guys knew what was up, And for us to have any goal or any inspiration, aspiration, motivation to win the Super Bowl last year, hey, man, I got to land on the moon for sale, because not even the front office believed that they were going to do it. They just can't tell the public that, hey, we finna move on from Coach. Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? I'm like, I heard that. I said, this guy, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew they did that. He did that. Because I said, something's wrong. The offensive line ain't playing. The center had to learn on his own. Ain't that beautiful? A new guy.
Yeah.
And a new guy. You got a new guy doing center, and you're not teaching him? Oh, my God, that's horrible, man.
Yeah.
I say, man. So I'm not worried about it. I think we're going to be very – they putting that foundation together. So if you got that foundation right, you got a chance of beating anybody.
Yeah, you got to have foundation right, man. And then you got to have principle, like what you do. Can you master what you do as your overall philosophy on offense and defense? And from a coaching aspect, Shotty got 26 years of experiences, none at head coach. But can he accumulate all of those years of experiences and master that part of, okay, getting work done through others? Can I have the best linebacker room as far as coaching? Can I have the best offensive line coach out here? I trust in him. Everywhere he's been at K-State with that time stance there, he's been top 5 and top 10 in those categories. Can he marry that with the professional level, right? And that goes on from tier to tier, bro. Yep.
I know. I'm like, man, you got to keep it business, professional. You got to teach the players. You still got to teach them. You still learn something new. You can be in the league 10 years, you still learn something.
You always got
somebody always.
Yeah. You got to, man. You definitely do, man. What else you got for me before I let the next caller on, MJ?
Well, I'm just getting ready for this camp. 3 more weeks. I'm gonna see you there, and we're gonna we'll be seeing with our own eyes how this offense and the defensive line. That's the key. The offensive line and the defensive line. So we could win in the trenches. We could do something. I'm not worried about Dak and the receiver. I know offense is gonna be dangerous. I just want to see what my D line do, the running game. But they get to attack now, so they're not sitting back. So now they get to attack. So that's good. So, and the linebackers going to eat. So I'm just ready for that. And, hey, man, let's wish Dak a good year. And all the haters keep hating on the young man. You hate on your own player. And don't you want the guy to win, or y'all want the guy to lose so y'all can just come over here and, oh, he ain't nothing? Man, for once in your life. Cheer the man on so we can try to win. I ain't never seen nothing. I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. Have you, Law?
No,
you got a quarterback, and you were hoping that he failed.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
That's the need to be right. That's the need to be right, bro. You know.
So that shows me that you're not a Cowboy fan. You just trying to get hit likes, and you hoping that we lose so you can have something to say. Yeah. So with all that, how about the Cowboys? Subscribe to Law Nation. In 3 weeks, I'm gonna see Law.
No doubt, man. Appreciate
you, man. Let me know where you at, Law. For sure.
No doubt, bro. That's MJ, man. Great caller, great supporter of the channel. Yeah. It's easy. It's easier to predict who's gonna fail versus predict who's gonna win. It's just how it goes, unfortunately. You know, and it is harder to win than it is to lose. But you got to make sure that you love winning more than you love losing. You know, so I think that this team love winning, the people, the mindset, or you hate losing more than you love winning. That's a better way to say it. You got to have that mindset. And there shouldn't be no cheering, happy-go-lucky type of stuff, but you got to learn how to read the room. You got to learn how to read the room. Last but not least, man, I got 628. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me.
Hey, Law.
Yeah, what's good with you, man? Talk to me.
What's happening, man?
Not much, man. Not much.
All right, good day to you.
Great day.
You know, I ain't got much to say. But what I did want to mention is, like, you know, at the games, you know, an important game come up, and you get all these season ticket holders, man. They sell the tickets and let the other team have all the seats instead of being in their chair for the team, man. I wish they wouldn't do that, man. That's all I got, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I'll expound upon that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling in, Chief. You have a good one.
Right on, baby.
No doubt, man. Good call from him. Yeah, money is money.
Goodbye.
And it was great calls today, man. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Money is money. There are complainers, and then there are doers, right? So if I paid a package of $15,000, I don't know, maybe $20,000, right, for season tickets for a year, or however that membership goes, and if I'm not going to be there because I'm disgruntled about my said team, and I want to show lack of support, then I got to recoup and make some of that money back. That's just business 101. You don't have to like it. You don't have to appreciate it. But these guys, that's why I say, if these guys are putting in their hard-earned money, then they should look for things to get in return. That's in anything that you guys do. I'm investing in this right here, and I want to get something back in return. This is what I do. Do I like the fact that sometimes the interactions are low? No. I invested. I got deliverables that I got to do. So we're going to stretch and pull conversations out even here on Law Nation Sports. We do. We do that as a business. Because any of y'all and all of you guys, here's how things work in life, unfortunately. It's an evil world that we live in. But this is how it goes. The people that sell off their season tickets, shame on them. But they got mouths to feed and they got other things that they could be doing. So if they don't want this to happen, then Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, make sure you put a good product out there. Make sure the players play better. But if the enemy wants to buy those season tickets to get there, that's normally how it goes, by the way. It's an evil world we live in. Shout out to you, Warren Duncan.
Warren Duncan, $10. Let's get behind our Cowboys, Cowboys Nation.
Thank you for your support. But it's always the support when you grinding, when you trying to get it out of the mud. There's only one guy there. Look at that picture. I hope you guys can squint your eyes and see it. One guy. But it's time for congratulations. Everybody say, hey, man, I was with you, Law. Hey, man, I was rolling with you, man. Now I see you on the big screen, right? It's always been like that. Congratulations. That's life, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the things in this world, sometimes you don't get what you want because you deserve better. The pressure is good for you. Shout out to Lost in Translation.
Lost in Translation Podcast, $10. Speaking of money and showing support, Law Nation, I appreciate you and I want to support you too. Love you, bro, and all you do. More success to you and your family.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Boy, on the way out, boy, I'm telling y'all, man, that is a noble thing. That is a very noble thing. Come on with it. You got to figure out ways to always prepare yourself and surround yourself with good energy. Great energy. Them negatives will bring you down, especially in this space. I failed multiple times. You can't grow in your own comfort zone. It's a good spot to be in, but you got to get out of your element, right? But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, look, Muhammad Ali was saying, I'm the greatest before he was great. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be established. Distractions going to always be around you. But it's your actions that help elevate you, to help push you and get you going. Progress over perfection. There's so many people want to start out great with perfection. And they forget about progress. That's why I encourage you guys to be 1% better than what you are to this day. 1%. Some people are striving for 50, 100. If that's your pathway, then let it be. But in reality, the things that you see from me doing these type of things all starts from a small step in the right direction. The sweat equity is real. So that's why when my guy asked me, do you think that Jerry Jones deserves $1 billion or $10 billion or whatever? It's impossible to please God without faith. Faith without works is dead. So you got to start walking in that authority and lean and believe in yourself. Now, granted, I may not be the biggest. I may not be the tallest. I may not even be the best speaker out here or the best content creator. I may not be none of those things. But I read in a book where a man shall work by the sweat of his brow. So I'm a worker, Lord. So I'm a worker. I haven't found anybody on this side of the world that's gonna outwork me because I wake up working. I wake up with the mindset that if you guys continue to support me anywhere before the support or after support, that you should feel in your heart that to know that Law Nation, he's gonna work. You're gonna get the best value out of the money you send me than anybody that you will ever send to money to on this planet. Because you know for sure that Law Nation, with these hands and eyes and ears and mouth and beard, that brother gonna work. That naysayer there, he gonna put in some work, baby. It don't matter. Even during the off season, he gonna give us a full show. Ain't no weak spots on his delivery. Yes, they said a workman. That's not a shame. I'm not ashamed of the things that I'm able to do. Newsflash, even when I'm working, it don't feel like work because I'm with my family and you guys are just that as well. So that's why I can get into certain rooms, shake certain hands, get certain phone calls. Not because I'm laying down, no, it's because I'm working. They try to change me. They try to say, hey, can you go a little softer on your delivery? No, because I'm not bought either. I can show y'all receipts of where people ask, can I buy your channel from you? And it's got 6 figures on it, baby. Yes, I don't want that. I built this brick by brick, and I'm going to continue to build. They can throw knives and try to sully and denigrate and take down the law. But no, it ain't finna happen that way here, baby. Look what we have done. And I'm not like Nebuchadnezzar, who walked out and looked over the providence of the land and say, these are the things I've done. No, these are the things that God, G-O-D, is allowing me to do. So I'm operating in my purpose. I'm walking in the spirit of my mind, heart, soul, and sinew. And no, I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual on this aspect of it. That energy is a real thing. So good vibes and good energy is what keeping us here and afloat, baby. It is. But write this down, because I say this on all of my closings, right? But before we do this, let's pay this
Jose
commercial break right here, right? This one. Yeah. Come on, AI.
Close the doors. DC4L.
Not for short, baby. Appreciate you, Rodriguez. Appreciate you. Write this down in your heart, because I say it every time. But it might feel and touch you differently, depending on where you are at in your life. Because I, too, was sleeping out of my car. I, too, we're living paycheck to paycheck. I too been in those shows. Yes. I too worked a corporate job, 3-piece suit, employee of the year type of groove. Park up front in the building. I too seen success and living and operating in success. But I've been into some mess. But the same tenacity is all what I have. And anyone that believes in me, they see it straight through the hearts, from the eyes, and they hear, and they can feel the momentum of the energy. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, or lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold or the poverty or the famish or fame or the sickness of body or brain can turn you away from the things you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it. Let's get it, baby. One love. DC for life, not for short, baby. Let's time to run it up. Let's get it. And roll those cribs.
No drip this. Run it up. No sleep, no rest.
Shout out to you, Common Sense Lab. Appreciate you. Lost in Translation Pod. Appreciate you. Come on. All right. Shout out to you, Lisa. Come on.
No sleep, no rest.
Come on.
But first I
stretch.
9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely.
Come on.
Turn to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me.
Don't hold me now, baby.
I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies.
Come on.
Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me.
Don't zone me.
I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGregor.
Yeah.
The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy.
Can't call me lazy,
Put
baby.
in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ.
Come on, Jerry, baby, yeah.
I wake up, flex,
come on,
down that check, no drip this.
Time to run it up.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I
stretch.
Time to run it up.
Come on.
I wake up, flex, come down that check, no drip this. Time to run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might
what we doing, baby? Don't let me catch that plane out to
make me take that trip way out to
Philly. Come on.
Call up Nigeria, come through.
Shout out to you, Jerry.
Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried.
Fredo.
One false move, find yourself they
getting buried, baby.
Yes, with the devil used to
shout out to you, Jenkins.
Games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain.
Not mine. Shout out to you, Warren Duncan.
To a swore that I would change.
Lost in translation.
Bet I live up to
my name.
I wake up, flex, down that
nation.
No drip this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, down that check. No drip this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up.
Give me my thing,
And as we depart, man, appreciate y'all, man. One love. If we offended anyone, you just, on this particular episode, if you offended, you just offended. You know, you just soft. You softer than Charmin tissue if you offended on this episode. But with all due respect, if you want to support the nation, there's a Cash App right there in the chat. Send it to Law Nation Sports. Title it is HBO. Help a brother out. Come on with it. I ain't too proud to beg, baby. And you. Don't let the street lights. Don't let them hit you, baby. It's dangerous. If you didn't like this episode today, and you still watching, and you haven't hit that like button, share this content, and subscribe, it's a movement going. Now, I don't want to outspeak my wisdom teeth, but man, we working on some big projects, baby. I would say it, but the enemy is watching and listening. Come on. Just know that we making some movement. Some real big movements happening, baby. I be all I follow wherever you go. Come on with it, baby. Sing with me. Play it too. Come on with it.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far.
Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
Then forever doesn't feel that far. So
Yes.
So far.
What's next? What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not gonna stay fucking down.
I'm not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do that, man. I can't do that. What's next? Give me something else.
Hey,
what can't you do? I can do it.
Give me 5 great things about
Law
Law Nation.
Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to.
5 great things about Law Nation. Authentic voice for the fans. Law Nation speaks the real, raw truth that Cowboys fans love. He's not afraid to call it like it is, and that honesty connects deeply with his audience. Football IQ and film breakdown. His deep knowledge of the game shows in every film session. Whether it's breaking down plays, player techniques, or coaching decisions, Law gives viewers an edge in understanding the game on a higher level. High energy content. Whether it's live streams, game recaps, or interviews, Law brings unmatched energy and passion. You feel the excitement, the frustration, and the hype. Every emotion a real fan goes through. Community-driven, Law Nation isn't just a platform, it's a movement. He builds relationships with his viewers, shouts out super chats, and creates a space where fans feel seen and heard. Consistency and hustle, rain or shine, win or lose, Law Nation is dropping content. His grind is elite, always keeping fans informed and entertained with the latest on the Cowboys and beyond.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors.
Hey, bro, come on now.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching.
Let's get it, baby. Come on with it.
1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to get this, I'm challenging each of you all down to give a $20 seed. But I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here.
Are
I got
you
you.
shitting me?
And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folks. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on the, take your phone, stick it on the bucket.
I cannot believe it.
Giving is worship. Giving is worship.
Your Highness.
Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't the time to talk. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. This is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all giving. That's it.
I've been really in the field, I wish I love the feeling. I just wanna run it up. Don't need no business, take it to a bill, I just wanna run it up. Yeah, kinda check the song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Are you not entertained? Count that too, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change to the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T.
Who it loud, baby?
I'm with A, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now.
Come on, remix.
Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Yeah.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment.
Yeah.
You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer,
call it too legit.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Oh my God.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
Come on.
I can take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just wanna run it up.
What I'm saying is that they are known and that they are known unknown. But there's also unknown.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Let me crack your
I just be off the dome.
Come on with it.
I never own no comb. Too many foes and
crack
clothes.
your cream.
Yeah, I be at home
Let me
alone.
crack your
I be in
cream.
zones alone. I be on road alone.
Oh my God.
I've been really in the field.
Crack your cranium. Fertilize your brain.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half the ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah. Come on, baby.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah.
Count that too. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Stand behind it. I guarantee it. About is when you chop my dope down.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on with it, baby.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Until next time, DC for life, not for short. Peace. We about. One love. Peace. Let's get on up out of here.
They can come closer than close, yeah. Original they never will be. Does it fail? No days off. No.